Hello and welcome to tutorial number 2 for Source SDK. Today we're going to be learning how to import 3D models into the SDK. Okay, before we do this, we're going to need to download a few programs that I have up for download on my mini site, where I will store downloads for any other videos I do. Once your internet browser is booted up, or whatever else you use, you can go ahead and go to sdktutorials.weebly.com. Once you're there, you'll see 3 different downloads. You're going to have to download all of these files. So just click download file and save them all. Once they're downloaded and extracted, you will see these 3 files. They'll probably be named something different except for the GUI Studio MDL.exe, and you'll have a few DDLs, but this is just a shortcut to my version. So since this tutorial is for XSI, we're going to be loading up XSI Softimage 7. Once XSI is fully loaded, we're going to have to install our XSI Valve add-on. So we're going to go into the add-ons and then click Install. Browse to wherever you have it extracted. For example, mine is in my desktop. And then you just click and open. Then you'll click Install. As you can see, I already have this add-on, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Once it's installed, you either have to restart an XSI, and if it doesn't make you restart XSI, it'll be right up here. This is how we're going to export our SMDs, which are going to be like our reference files, our physics files, all that stuff to get the model in Source. So the next thing we're going to do is just make a basic model that you want to test it out with. Alright, now that I have a basic little model made for tutorial purposes, I'm going to give it a texture. If you don't know how to do this, you might want to look at my How to Use XSI guide that I'll be coming out with soon. Okay, once it's been given a texture, what you want to do is highlight the whole selection, go up to Model, Polymesh, and you're going to click Merge. Bring the tolerance down to 0, and then click Merge Materials. And then delete inputs. Once that's done, you'll have a single object with a nice texture. Since each of our objects still has a texture applied to it, individually, we're going to have to make it all one texture so that Valve's engine can read it. So highlight your object, go up to Render, go to Property, and click Render Map. Change the X resolution to 512. And then super sampling quality up to 5. For UVs, click New, Unique UV Polymesh. Then save it wherever you want to save it. I'm just going to name mine TABBLE, it doesn't matter. And then go down to the Targa format. You may notice that sometimes it'll do this, and you have to retype your name in right here. Let me see. Okay, then click Regenerate Maps. This can take anywhere from minutes to hours to even days, depending on how good your quality is. 5 is a nice quality for most models, so I'd suggest 5. Then I'll meet you back here once this finishes. Okay, now that that's done, you can go ahead and exit this window, and we're going to see if our texture generated. So go to your computer and find wherever you saved it at. Mine is in my Softimage folder, and it is right here. We don't want to open it yet because sometimes that can cause problems. So now we're going to select our whole object, click 8, go to Polymesh, Polymesh Clusters, and click all of them except for the texture coordinate auto. If you don't have any more than the texture coordinate, it's fine. Then delete them. Now the texture is gone. So we're going to go back, add our texture that we made, New from File, go up to where you saved it, and here's mine. Now, as you can see, it's applied to the object, but it looks like junk. So we're going to want to go to Unique UV Polymesh, and it'll fit it perfectly. Once that's finished, we can export our model. Go to Valve Source, Export SMD, and I'm going to name mine Dash underscore reference. Now you have to use the underscores that I use too. .smd. And that's going to be our model SMD. Click OK. Once that finishes generating, go back to export SMD, change that reference to fizz. Like that, and then go down here to fizzbox SMD. Click OK. We're going to do the same for the skeletal animation, which is just going to be idle, IDLE. Click OK, and now we should be done inside